Hi, I'm Greg Robinson from myphotographyshow.com, where you can send your photos in for a free critique. That's exactly what Brent did with this image. Thanks, Brent, for sending your image in. I'm going to critique this in several different parts. First off, I'm going to answer your question because you said you were always hesitant to put forth images for review taken with a fisheye lens because they run the risk of just being sort of a gimmick, which I agree. First of all, you have two types of fisheye lenses, okay? Let's get one thing straight. You have these kind of fisheye lenses, which are circular lenses. Basically, you're going to have this black contour and the image is going to be round, okay? Then you have sort of rectangular fisheye lenses, which don't have as much field of view because these ones can go up to about 180 degrees, sorry, if not more, which means like that. And the rectangular ones don't. They don't cover that much field of view, but we're not too far from 180. Okay, so it's still very interesting. And you get full rectangular compositions, which is a little more interesting. Although on a full frame, it's still a bit hesitant because I saw you using the 5D Mark III. Let's get into the critique. I'll talk about what we can do with this. So you chose 100 ISO, a shutter speed of half a second, and an aperture of f22. My guess is that you chose 100 ISO for the less noise possible, an aperture of f22 in order to have as much depth of field as possible, although with a fisheye lens you can always play around with that, and a shutter speed of half a second, which also enables you to get this lovely blur inside the small river there. Great composition. I like the way you got in close. You were really close to the floor here. I think the camera was actually touching the floor. Well done on that, and this gives us a whole new perspective. Your horizon line is smack in the middle there, but it's less disturbing with a fisheye lens. So that was great doing that because that enables us to get this lovely view of the trees here. Good going on that. Two things you can do to this image to better it slightly. The first thing I would have done is basically I'm going to crop it. This is to be done in Photoshop as well. As you see, I use the crop tool and I selected everything. That enables me, if I hold down Shift and Alt key, I bring the image down just to the border of this, this part here. Let me do that again so you can see. I just bring it to the edge of the circle there, trying to get as much of the image as possible, and it seems to be hitting the edge faster on the left than on the right, so I'm just going to do that. There we go, and there's your image. A little more interesting given that we have a full frame effect, but you did have to crop quite a bit of information, unfortunately. Another alternative would have been to crop this as a square image. That can be also interesting. Let me just show you what that can bring, because that way you lose as much information on top and on the bottom as you do on the sides. So yeah, I prefer the rectangular version, quite frankly. It looked a little more interesting. So there we go, you just have to play around with it. I'm sure you can find some software out there that will help you playing around with this and probably reduce the distortion you get. You'd have to look around. I think this kind of image is really complicated to play around with, and you have to use the right material, you have to use the right gear. I think not using a full frame camera first off, and second, choosing a rectangular type of fisheye lens. Okay? Thanks for sending your image in, Brent. Even though you were scared it was gimmicky, well done for jumping the leap and just, well, wanting me to critique the image. I know that some of you are quite scared of that. Don't be. I'm not harsh. I won't be hard on you. Your images are there for you to learn, to try out. We've all made the same mistakes at the beginning. I'm just here to help you out, trying to avoid them as much as possible. Find us on Twitter and Facebook. Please come to myphotographyshow.com, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and send your images to myphotographyshow.com so that I can critique them for free. I hope to see you soon. Until then, this is Greg Robinson wishing you a good day.